One. Hello, everybody. I am Sun Psychic Jean, and please welcome my very special co host, Kelly from Calihealer. Hi, Kelly.
Oh, what a nice welcome. Thank you, Jean. Thank you for having me.
It's so fun when you and I get together. And if you didn't get to see our last show together, it was so much fun. I'll have to put it in the show notes below. Sometimes I do. Um, Yes, I did. I did. I put the last show that we had together in the show notes below, but we were talking about our crystals and
Yes.
stones and the healing properties of them according to us. Now, there is a lot of information out there on the internet, in books, different teachers, different philosophies. You may agree with us, not agree with us. You may have your own interpretation. You may say that stone works differently for me. And that's what is most important, is that you feel and sense what the frequency and vibration and the remedy, I like to call it a remedy,
Yeah.
and not the medicine. It's a remedy, or it's in support of our body and the frequency and vibration. I know that it has gotten me through some pretty stressful times in my life, and I really enjoy playing with my crystals.
I do too. I'm like surrounded in them. In fact, my chair I have them all up the side of my leg right here. I do. I'm with you, Jean. I love them. They bring me so much peace, and like you have gotten me through some some good times and some not so good times. And that's what's so great about them. I mean, I even have them in the bathroom. I they're sprawled out all through the house. On the front step of before you even enter my house, I have tourmaline, I have amethyst, I have selenite and petrified wood. I want to say there's another one. Oh, rose quartz. So whoever comes up to my doorstep, gets that energy of quartz. And then I have a whole nother set when you enter the door, that to clear energy too. So hopefully anybody that's coming in, is going to have good energy.
Oh, that's beautiful. And it also helps your house
Yeah.
to, have that frequency and vibration of the healing properties of the stones. And it's not how pretty they are. And you can uh, oftentimes find stones in nature, like river rocks, especially river rocks, rocks that are found in water are highly vibrational. And when I was in my shamanic energy practice, we used rocks that we found in the wild, so to speak, that we dug
Yeah.
up with our fingers and used and talked to them and listened to them and felt their vibration. It is Mother Earth. It is our earthing. It is our nature. It is our connection. And these stones and crystals do have a crystalline type of frequency and energy to them that is a little more beautiful, I guess you would call it, or have some different aesthetic qualities. But it doesn't always have to be. Oh, I forgot one of them that I wanted to show you. I'm going to have to go get it.
Yeah.
So let me go do that real quick. 1 second, and just everybody say hi to Kelly. I'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh. There is so many of you here. Annie, hello. We've been playing phone tag today, so we'll catch up later. Jackie, hello. Michelle, Scott, Kat. Scott, I get to see you in a few hours. I can't wait. We're going to be reading together. I'm so looking forward to that, Scott. And another Scott. We have two Scotts in the house. Nice to have male energy in here. And Edward, thank you for being here. Thank you. And Debbie, hello.
Okay, now I remember why I didn't get it before. Thank you for holding down the fort.
Yeah.
It's really hard to show you, but it is a rock, a natural rock that somebody attached a vessel that contained lamp fluid, and you can light the wick. And I don't know if I can light it, but here it is, and it's in this glass jar. But I know, but it's one of my favorite things. It just has there's no oil in it anymore. There's very little in there. But it has a wick on it. And I'm telling you, the fire coming out of this natural rock
Whoa.
is so beautiful. So beautiful. It's a little bit like when you have an outdoor kind of a rock uh you know fire pit,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I have, so these are the river rocks. Now it's pretty dirty in here, but these are just some river rocks and natural rocks that I've picked up along the way that have spoken to me and that I love. And then I put them in there, and then I set this on top of the glass. And
Mm.
this is one of my absolute favorite things. And this has so much energy. And this man just digs these rocks out of the ground and makes this it's like an attachment that holds liquid or holds lighter, not lighter fluid, but lamp oil.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
have a whole bunch of lamp oil. It's almost impossible to fill because you have to take the wick out, fill it, and then it spills, and it's not as easy. It looks good, and once the oil's gone,
Yeah.
but it's one of my absolute favorite things. If I could show you the little flame coming out from this rock, and you can't see the wick, like you just see the flame coming off the rock, and it's just so beautiful. So I'm going to have to put this down, so give me 1 second because it's very heavy and I want to move.
That's amazing, Jean. I have never in my life seen anything like it. That is super cool. Jem, hello. And SDJY, hello.
I forgot how
Rachel,
heavy that
hello.
thing was.
Oh, it looked really super heavy.
And it's like maybe 3 or 4 pounds, but it's awkward, and it's glass and stones. But I just, it's one of my favorite things, and I fall in love. And that's what I was saying. You can bring in natural stones from outside. Um, my husband also bought me. It's like hmm. the kind of stones that you see cut, and it has the natural on the outside. A geode. It's a
Yes.
geode.
Mhm.
And this woman puts moss on the geode, and she puts little fairy things and added it like little scenes, little landscapes on the geode, and it's wonderful. And I because he's like, I know you like rocks, I hope you don't mind. And I'm like, no, that's exactly what I love. It,
Yeah.
yeah, it was so cool, so cool. Hmm.
I have a rock here. I wasn't planning on sharing this, but I got it in when we lived in Minnesota, and we lived on the lake. And so I would go play in the water and be looking for rocks and stuff all the time. And this one day I was out by the lake, and I don't have the other one up here. I think the other one's downstairs. Anyway, I was on our beach, and I told my angels, I said, I want to find, and I know it sounds crazy, I want to find an angel rock, and I want to find a rock, a pink rock with a cross on it. I mean, you can't really get any more specific, right? And so I just went on looking for rocks, looking for rocks, looking for rocks. And all of a sudden I find this rock, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's got the angel wings, and it's got right there the nose, and then it's kind of hard to see, it's got eyes, and it's got um black tourmaline in it. So that's the back
Ooh.
side of it. And so when I picked it up, I thought it was a heart, but then when I turned it around, it had the angel face on it and the angel wings.
Oh, wow. I
Then
see it now. Okay. I see
yeah,
the wings. Okay.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's hard to see. Um but when it's laying there, it's like you can really see it. And then it was like, I don't know, minutes later, I find this pink rock, and it's granite because there's different colors in it too. But there's a perfect cross in the rock, and I just went, wow! If that's not like answering just like that, what you need.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And in the wild and spontaneously and having nature give back. And, they say sometimes you don't want to take something like if it's from a ruin or something, like if everybody took a pebble from Machu Picchu, it wouldn't be there anymore. So they say it's best to leave it behind or to make an offering in replace of whatever it is that you take. And that's what some people say about um, when we mine all of these crystals that we're taking from the earth. But I
Mhm.
believe that it was intended for us to use them for, balancing our energies and supporting our own bodies and connecting to the frequency and vibration that brings us back into balance.
I
Mhm.
agree. I agree. I have this one here. It's a it's a red calcite, and
That's beautiful.
it's got some pink in it too, some pink and some gray and some white. Oh, oh it's chafing. Um, anyway, yeah, I found this at a crystal shop in Fillmore. Um, and so I wrote down the healing properties of it. This I suppose I can keep it up while I talk about it. It's supposed to increase your energy. It uplifts emotions and is supposed to help dissolve blockages and remove stagnant energy, reduces stress and promotes peace. And boy, I'm gonna keep this up here. It's good for grounding and protection, and it's supposed to protect against negative energies. And this was interesting. It said, in people that might be manipulative, enhances creativity. It's great for artists, writers, and it helps overcome creative blocks. And the physical healing properties of this, it's supposed to help our lower backs, our hips, and our reproductive organs.
Wow.
So yeah, that's
Wow.
that one I had downstairs, but I think yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it up here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to need you for a while, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Some of them you want to have hang around. And I was telling Kelly that I brought some very much, you'll see, I have a lot of, I guess they're called towers or um, I don't know what they're called, but I have a lot of this shape. And I don't know what this is called. I don't remember what this is called. But this one, it almost reminded me of like a cross between fluorite and amethyst, but it had so much white and the dark spots to it, and it had such a variety and such a pattern to it. And I just really felt drawn to this, and I felt like it was soft and loving yet supportive and strong. And I really liked the white. It was almost like angelic or spirit, and the
Mhm.
darker part was more of the supportive and strong um, properties. But I fell in love with this, and you just pick things up once in a while. You don't go out and choose like 30 things, or I don't. I've never bought more than one item at a time. But it's really what it is to me is what I see when I look at it, what I feel when I hold it and work with it. And with it being in my house,
Yeah.
and with all of these together being in my house, and Kelly, you were just sharing with me, I'm not sure, it was before the show, you were sharing with me about your stones outside of your house on the front step, right?
Yeah, it was during the show.
Oh, it was? Okay. And I can't remember because it all just blends
Good.
together. And it's really, and that's what I feel about the crystals and the stones and the things that I have around my house too, that they hold that certain frequency and energy. But it's important to move them. It's important to know which ones to put out in the moon. Like the Virgo moon was just recently, and I remember one year when the Virgo moon was the full moon was there. I ran around and gathered almost every crystal I had and didn't realize how many crystals I had to put them out on the back, patio table, and left them out in the moonlight overnight. And I wanted to find vessels that were made of natural materials, like a wicker basket or a wooden bowl, or
Yeah.
something that was not plastic. Glass was okay because it wasn't didn't have those mm, you know
Chemicals and stuff.
yeah, a lot of chemicals in it, yeah. So but it was amazing, and it's just nice to shuffle them around. I have some in a display case. I have a little display case where you open it up and close it, and they're like my my pride and joy. They're very fragile. They're small ones, but a lot of these and this one is honestly, I don't remember, but it's just absolutely healing and beautiful, and how light it is. And I love the mosaic feeling, and
Beautiful.
then this tower, the tower shape that I love so much, or it's like an obelisk, or but it's also just really very powerful, healing, gentle, and
Very.
just the color, it just doesn't do it justice. And maybe that, and you can see,
Oh,
like,
that's
even in my background, how much I love the green. But it was quite unique and really special. It could even be like a jasper or there's just so many different. I mean, there's like 30,000 different types of gems and
yeah.
stones. So there's a lot. But sort of shape is what I gravitate to. And I like it because it's easy to display and I can see it and appreciate it. But
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that I don't have like little pieces and little rounds.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you. I like green, and I think I'm drawn to it too because it it's healing. I mean, whenever I think of green, I think of healing. And I wonder if there was it could have been maybe some green aventurine in there, maybe
Okay.
a little bit. This is this is I did a lot of mine on calcite. So I've got two more calcite crystals. And all these I had downstairs that I just recently brought up. But this is a green calcite, and it promotes self-acceptance and calm, compassion, and soothes stress and negativity. And it's great to help with sleep. So I think I'm going to put it over by the bed, and it helps with balance. And it's called a mental healer. It helps dissolve old programming, which I thought was really interesting and very beneficial. And it's supposed to help push us out of our comfort zone. And it says it's great for our immune system, inflammation, and to calm our adrenals. And it's good for bones, arthritis help, and bacterial inflammation, and aids in communication. And so I'm surprised it's not blue, because usually the blue helps aid in communication. But like you said, it's really what you feel, it helps for. This stuff, I have the information that I got. I used, I think it's called the Crystal Bible, and so I just looked up the properties for it. But for me, green is always means like a deep healing.
Hmm. And I love the calcites. I love the blue calcite, yellow calcite, orange calcite. I love the calcite family, I guess you would call it. And it does have high frequency vibration and healing qualities. And it's very accessible. The only difference, the only caution I would say is that it is fragile, that it does sort of break easily. Like the
Mhm.
denseness and hardness, it crumbles a little bit.
Yep, it's
Um,
falling all over.
So let me pull the green ones out that I have. So this one is what I would call like a green aventurine, I think.
Mhm.
It could be green calcite, but I think it's like a green aventurine.
I think it
And
is
then
too.
these, I think, are uh, it's either um, labradorite. I think this one is labradorite, and this one is lapis lazuli. I don't know. This one must be blue something. Blue aventurine. No, blue something else. Blue calcite.
Our
Blue.
lapis.
No, it's not quite because it doesn't have the speckles in it. Um,
Oh, true. Yep. Yep.
but
Because I have lapis here,
I
and
think
it
it's
makes
blue
sense.
apatite. Blue apatite, and this one is the darker green. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
It
And
is.
I would use these as like the chakras. And if I felt like I needed support in my heart chakra or my throat chakra, I would pull out different colors. And let me just see if I can do. Oop, 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 don't go. Um, Let me do one or two more. This one is actually labradorite, and it's the lighter version in the labradorite. It's a lighter color of the labradorite. I wore this like crazy. um,
That's
and
beautiful.
this one is a labradorite mix. It has the hematite in there, and it has the black tourmaline in there, and then the labradorite in there. And this combination, I wore this bracelet like for 3 years straight. It just really helped to balance all of these things instead of wearing three different bracelets. And they know this. That's why they create this balance, because people need grounding, they need healing, and they need support. Like these three are very, very special and a really beautiful combination. And I would try and put on something else. I'd be like, nope, give me this one. Even though I wore it every day, it was because I felt the difference. I could feel it working. And it's
Oh
not
yeah.
something that you just wear once. It's that when you don't wear it, you can feel sort of the absence of it. It's
Hmm.
really very subtle. And it's just like, it's almost like if you had it on, you would talk fluently. You would remember all your words. You would have, awareness or whatever. Whereas if you weren't wearing it, you might be like that, and you wouldn't be able to remember. It's
Yes.
like little bits of support that you just can't even tell, or you can't. And it's not that. But I'm just saying, like a little bit of eases and smooths out whatever it is that you're doing. It really does help to support in minute, subtle ways that I am just really sensitive to. What do you have next?
It and what a great protector stone too. I mean, to ward off any negative energy, to have that on. I mean, that's a huge shield. Next one I have is the orange calcite. And they call it like a motivation stone. It helps aid our lower chakras, cleansing fear and depression. And it's supposed to be good for healing our urinary tract, spleen, liver, kidneys, gallbladder, and it's supposed to help remove toxins from the body and help stimulate the mind and pursue our passions. So to help with projects, if we just need that little extra boost of inspiration, it's supposed to help with that.
That is absolutely magnificent. I love that. And do you call it yellow or orange?
I my next one is yellow. This, but it is orange, but it's a really lighter orange. But then when you see here, I can do the yellow. This is the yellow.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's orange calcite. I
Yeah.
have a beautiful little heart in the orange calcite,
Oh,
and
that
it's
is
very
gorgeous.
citrusy, right? It's really
Yes, it
juicy.
does.
And then I have this, and this is the other one that I wore with the black one. And this one supported me when it was end of month, end of quarter, and I had to do the taxes. I wore this. And then when it was Friday afternoon and I had to get a lot done, I wore this with the black one. And and held on to this, put this in my bra. I mean, I was like loaded up and I could tell the difference,
Mhm.
how fast I got things done, how much focus I was able to do. I wasn't distracted. I wasn't fatigued. I didn't like say, well, I want to go get a cracker. I worked and got it done. And I'm telling you, these things
Mhm.
absolutely helped my focus, supported me very gently. But I said, "Oh, it's Friday. I got to bring my tools." And I wore this, and people are like, "Oh, that's a nice necklace." And it's this one's nice. This one's it's the it. I said, "Oh, it's just I used to like try and put it underneath my shirt because it wasn't. It's not. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not
It's
anything.
pretty.
But oh my, I just could not get enough of this. I
They
had
were your worker stones, weren't they? I mean, literally your worker stones.
They were my life saviors.
Yeah.
I but I'm just really passionate and a little bit exaggerating, but I mean, and this is just some of my favorites, some of
Yeah.
my I just feel this way, you guys. And this is how ask my husband. This is how I really am every day. He calls me a little kooky, but I feel so passionate about the connection that I feel, and I can sense the change in my energy just
Yeah.
ever so slightly.
Yeah, and don't you think, I mean, no matter what the stone is, you can program it to do whatever it is that you want help with. Is you just literally talk to it and tell it what you want. This one, I when I was writing down the information on it, it, it can be called yellow calcite or gold calcite. So it can be called either or. There is a little bit of speckles of red in it too, but this is supposed to encourage forgiveness, which is huge, self-acceptance, and this I love. It's supposed to help navigate through chaos
Mm.
and helps with clarity, inspiration, and is associated to our solar chakra. It has gentle protection and positivity, and it enhances meditation, inducing deep state relaxation, linking to the higher linking us to the higher source. So it stimulates the mind and expands our energy. Healing is supposed to boost our immune system, improve digestion, and regulate our nervous system. And lastly, it is to help aid in abundance, prosperity, attract wealth and success while providing balance and harmony. So, I mean, this really, this is, I mean, yeah, this one too. I think I am going to keep this one close. I had all four of these downstairs on the base of the fireplace, the the rock of the fireplace. I had them sitting there, but they've they're going to stay up here with me now for a while.
Wow. So Namira says it's also good to wear citrine stone for money and balance.
Yeah,
And that's why you
absolutely.
said gold, right? It's
Hmm.
often called gold. Yep. And so I noticed as you were holding that, and I love that you have all of the natural or organically, it's not polished or, lightly polished, but you have the organic product that you
Yeah.
collect. And I used to go to a woman's house and she did cranial sacral therapy, and I was working on healing my back, and I would go to her for therapy. And I walked in, and she had all of these really beautiful, huge stones all over her house. And when you said that you put them on your fireplace, I remember she had them all over her fireplace and everywhere, every window. And I said, "Where did you get all of these?" And she said her boyfriend that she used to live with for 20 years and he no longer lives together, they're all his, like he just left them there. So it was like, oh my gosh, it was so amazing. But how do you, and I noticed as you're showing the stone, I noticed that you have a couple of stones on your right hand. And do you feel differently when you wear it like as a piece of jewelry or if you wear it or if you hold it or,
I do.
close to you.
I do. This one is smoky quartz.
Wow.
And this is carnelian.
Mm,
And this actually my grandma gave to me when I was probably like, I don't know, between 8 and 10 years
wow.
old. They owned they had a resort, and somebody must have left it there, and she gave it to me. And actually it's her birthday today in heaven. So yeah, thank you, grandma. And this one, I forget what this is called, but you see how it's got
Oh, the flash in it. Yeah.
and it's kind of got the X mark, and
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
and that's that. It is a certain stone. Now I can't think of the name of it. And then it's got citrine there and smoky quartz.
And these are put together intentionally, that they blend together, that together they're stronger together for a more pointed remedy, is what I'd like to call it. Um, I do. Somebody mentioned selenite, and I love selenite. It's very cleansing. And somebody also, or Veritas, asked about Himalayan salt lamps. I have two right there that I turn on all the time, and it does help to emulate, for lack of a better term, the negative ions into the room
Mhm.
to help charge the positivity in the air. And when I'm calling in spirit guides and your loved ones, it's really good to have as much positive energy around. I do have two salt lamps because one of them, the light doesn't work anymore, and there is no way to change the bulb other than to destroy the lamp. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but the other one works, and they're heavy. As one of them is maybe like 6 or 7 inches, and the other one's about 12 or 13 inches. But I love them, and when I first started using them, whenever I would lick my lips out, I'm like, "What is that salty taste?" I'm like, "Oh, it's the salt lamp." It
Yeah,
really
right.
does.
It does make a difference. I know I have one right there, I think.
Yes, I see it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yep. And then I have a white one up on top there in the corner.
Oh, nice.
And where I got these calcite crystals, I actually got a smoky quartz um light lamp, and it's a big hunk of smoky quartz. And I have that downstairs in the living room, just there too, just to keep away the negative energy. I do have a funny story about the pink Himalayan lamps. I have a family member, I won't give away her name, but is not the most positive person. There's a little bit of negativity that she holds on to. And she was staying at our house for a weekend, and I had purposely put a salt lamp next to where she sat, just to help with her energy, to help clear the energy and whatnot. And it was funny. Jean, she literally asked me, she goes, could you shut that lamp off? It's really annoying me.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, okay, it was working. But of course, I honored her and went and shut it off. But I had put it there on purpose, just to help. And she picked up on it, and she didn't like what it was doing. And so, yeah, interesting. They do work.
Wow. Look at Annie Bear says I have two salt lamps on all the time. It really does kick out those negative. It's called negative ions, but it's what you want to balance the energy in your home, and it's very much it's like um, it's scientifically proven. It's not a belief or
Yeah.
it's yeah. It's more scientific, but no, I love them, and they're heavy as crap, and I find them at secondhand stores, of course, you know me, that's what I do.
Yep. I love
And
it. Me too.
yeah, I remember, I don't know if I told this story before, but I was it was an herb shop, and it's called Smile Herbs, in case anybody's in the DC area. And I walked into the herb shop, and they have all kinds of, like, braids and herbs, and different teas and different smelly things, and really pretty candles, and all different kinds of things. And then you go upstairs on the second floor, and it's all like wooden staircase, and they have some t-shirts there. And then you go into the back room upstairs, and it's all like the salt lamps. Well, I just kept feeling like this. And I kept feeling like that something was jumping or bumping. And I thought maybe it's a truck outside going by. And I mean, so I came downstairs. I said, is everything secure up there? Is there, does the floor bump or jump when people walk around? And they looked at me like I had three heads. They're like, what? Like, it what? No. And it was my reaction to all those salt lamps all being on. It was my own energy jumping. Like
Oh yeah. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is a lot of energy, right? It does make a difference. And at one point, I think I used to have a salt lamp in every room. Now I'm not quite as obnoxious. I have, I think, three downstairs and then this one here. So it's not, I kind of was overkill there for for a while. But you're right, they are heavy. I have one down there that's probably, yay, and it's got to be 15 pounds. Yeah.
They have these baths. I guess it's a salt bath, and you walk in. It's like a spa, and you go and you sit on a salt lamp sort of lounge, and all the walls are covered in little bricks of like the salt, the sea salt, or the Himalayan salt. And I'm like, I don't know if I'd be able to survive in there. And Heather from the Crone Zone, she gets these bricks. The bricks, like
Yeah.
it's like this, like this tall, that and this thick, and this, I don't know, like maybe 8 inches, maybe 3 inches by 8 inches by 4 inches or something. And they're like rectangle bricks, and they're Himalayan sea salt. And she said they're wonderful for grounding, that she takes her shoes off, puts them on the ground, and puts just her bare feet on them. And
Oh
it
my
detoxes
God.
her and fills her up with those negative ions, and blends and balances her energetic, and um, I don't know what kind of qualities you would call that, just her energetic qualities. And it's fabulous, some of the things that we can do, and they're quite inexpensive. I don't know if they were like 20 or $25, but you
So
can just buy a brick of Himalayan sea salt and put your feet on them. Do have to be careful. I think she has like some sort of a tray or something that she keeps them on, because they do crumble,
mhm.
and they would get on the carpet, like just the saltiness or the residue of it. Oh, I know what she did. She said that she put them in the oven, or she put them in the microwave for like, mm, I don't know, 30 seconds, and they keep her feet warm, and it sort of like turns on how like the lamp
Oh
in the salt
yeah,
lamp,
yeah.
just the little bit of energy kicks it out a little bit more. But thank you guys for asking. That was a really, a bowl of pink salt. Wow. And
I used to
she,
go to they they're they were called oh, no, what were they called? Salt caves. Salt cave in Minneapolis, and I loved it. You could bring a mat, or you would have a mat there, and then you would it but on the floor there, it was ground. It was, kind of ground up pink Himalayan salt, but then the walls were all brick. And then I would go do it like a sound healing, and there was a shaman there that would, have the gong and the drum, and you'd lay there. And I'll tell you what, if that doesn't like clear and open you up, I mean, literally your crown chakra and your third eye, just really, really opens up, but it opens up your sinuses too. And I was great for the immune system. but I have a bag of pink Himalayan salt in our bathroom because we don't have a tub up in our bathroom. We just have a shower. And so I keep a bag of pink Himalayan salt. And so when I really need my energy cleared, I'll sprinkle the pink Himalayan salt in the bottom of the shower before I get in, and I can really tell it makes a difference. You're on mute.
The steam brings it up. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah, Salt Cave. You're right, Michelle. Do you live near here? Yep, the salt room. Yep. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Uh-huh. I don't know how much it is, but I think it's worth a try. Maybe I would go try it now. It would be a good idea. Those float pods too. I told my husband about that. He's like, "What do you do? Just float? That's boring." I'm like, "Yeah, well, if you're
See, that
if
would be
you
fun
hold
too.
energy in your body, it's very relaxing and very soothing and
Mhm.
healing." Float tanks. Yep, yep. I love
Yeah,
it, you guys.
yeah.
So what do you say? Let's get to some more. I have a this and a that. This and you know me. This is a turquoise, but it's a very light color turquoise. You
Oh,
know, it
Jane,
varies.
that is beautiful.
And I think that I wrapped this. I think I bought it, and you can see I wrapped it. But it's
Oh, it's
very iffy.
beautiful.
But I tried jewelry several times and I didn't make it. And this is just pink quartz and rose quartz. And
Oh, I
it's
love
just,
that too.
I was like addicted to anything that was on a cord like this because it was so easy for me to put over my head and wear. Um, and let me just continue on. This is, and I may have shown this to you before, but this, I don't know. Mm, I think
Oh,
like red jasper or something. But I love the
that's beautiful.
decoration, the shape of it. And this,
Mhm.
I got this before I was the sun psychic, so I thought that was really interesting.
It is, isn't it?
Mhm.
Oh, I love that.
Let me just go on. So this was the next one that I was telling you about. This is a new purchase that I found secondhand, and it is labradorite. And I know, look at that. And
Oh, that
oh,
is
I love it.
beautiful.
I do have one necklace that just has one drop, and you couldn't really tell what it is. But I know that Tarot Stash wears that beautiful tiger's eye necklace around, and I've always wanted to get a labradorite necklace. And
That's
I think that the
gorgeous.
person selling it just thought it was like vintage jewelry and maybe didn't realize the quality of the labradorite, but and it is quite old, and it is sterling silver, and I got it for a steal, and I'm telling you, a steal.
I love
Secondhand
that.
jewelry,
Those are the
and
best.
let's see, and I think I'm going to stop there. Do you have another one?
Um, I have I have this one here.
Ooh,
It
aquamarine.
it is called, well, and maybe the same. It's written down as blue aqua aura quartz, and it's a calming stone. It's for the throat chakra, and it's supposed to cleanse our aura and help clear our communication. The stone offers psychic protection, enhances awareness, and aligns our chakras. And additionally, this gem brings prosperity, strength, and tenacity. But yeah,
Wow.
it's not very big, but yeah, I keep that guy right here pointed right there towards myself.
hmm And I love that it encourages that tenacity. And my teacher told us that it doesn't matter how large or how big of a piece of the stone that you have, it every bit of it has the quality. So this is a very small piece of labradorite. I think I have labradorite in every denomination or every
Size.
possible variation of either a necklace or a. This is my labradorite. tower that I have.
Oh, I
And this
love
is one of
that.
the very first purchases that I made. It doesn't have a whole lot of flash, it's just really beautiful.
It
And it's
is.
really great to put right here. And I thought I saw a flash. And it's quite, it really does help to take the edge off of any severity of emotion. And I'm telling you, like within 5 or 10 minutes, it calms you down and clarifies your perspective. It really, I mean, it works for a lot of my family members. I can't say it works for everybody, but I would hope that it does. This is my smoky quartz, and of course,
Mm.
I mean, you can tell, that I love
Ooh.
this. And this is my favorite fluorite. And um, I told you the story about this one, and I'll tell you it again. I was in my dressing room where I get dressed and put on my makeup, and then I was walking out. And as I was walking out the door after doing my hair and makeup, I I stopped in my tracks, took one step back and looked over, and this stone was calling to me. I'm telling you, I don't know how I knew it. I just felt the attraction, the draw towards this stone. I said, okay, you're coming with me. And
Yeah.
it was one of those days where I was burnt out. I mean, more than just the yellow calcite, I was burnt out and I had so much work to do and I was overtired. I wasn't sleeping, it was all of these things. This helped to calm, center, focus me, support me. It was so supportive. I mean, I have such affinity that if there was a fire and there was things that I had to take, it would be the yellow and this. Just
That's amazing, and I'm so happy you shared that with us because I mean it's nice to know what's close to your heart and what it is that means is so special too. Yeah, they have been lifesavers for you, boy. Holy smokes!
and it's real life examples. This is, I think, black tourmaline, and it's just a really pretty. I love the polished stones. I love the cut stones, and some of them are natural points, but some of them I don't think this one is. But it's just a really pretty black tourmaline.
That's
Um,
gorgeous.
and here's while we're doing the towers. This is lapis lazuli, and I have a lot of different
Ooh,
variations of the lapis lazuli. It supports a lot of the spiritual development and availability. And I think you had this before, right?
the hematite?
No,
No, not hematite.
pyrite, pyrite.
Yeah, pirate. Yep, I have that one right over there on the floor.
A- And it's fool's gold. And they said that merchants used to keep this in their till. And what it does is it gravitates money towards, wherever you keep it or for good fortune and stuff. But yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's one of the ones that I have sitting out on display. Let me just go through a couple of these that I pulled out. This This is ruby. This is ruby, and you can see it a
Ooh,
little bit. It's really dark red, and I walked up to a vendor when I was at one of those psychic fairs. When I was a customer, and I said, what is it? What do you think would be best for me? And he gave me this, and I'm like, that's dark and ugly. Why do you think? He says your root chakra. He was like foreign and he had like a funny accent. I said, my what? He says your root chakra needs support. And so yeah, this is
that's
a really dark
beautiful.
ruby red. And he said that this would be very healing and very supportive to me. I
I
think this
love
is
that.
this is sunstone. It's really
I love
pretty sunstone.
sunstone.
This is some sort of either amethyst or a purple stone. I don't know which. This one I don't get as much vibe from. The sunstone I don't get as much vibe from. And this one is tiger's eye. I get a lot of grounding, a lot of support, a lot of strength or stamina from this
Yep.
tiger's eye. It's very versatile. And then this is my workhorse, my black tourmaline that somebody gave me off of their wrist because they knew I needed to be grounded. They're like, girl, you are flying high. You're like lifting off your seat. And she said, here, put this on. She said, I have these. She had a bunch of these beads at home and she would make them. And she says, I give them away all the time. And I do too. I gave a lot of the ones that my nieces would be like, Aunt Jean, that's pretty. I'm like, here, have it.
Yeah.
The little pink ones and stuff they like. But yeah, this is black tourmaline, and it really is a workhorse. And if you need protection or feel that you need protection, it really does work beautifully for me. But this one was one that surprised me. The red ruby. It's a natural ruby.
Yes.
It's not like a gemstone ruby, but
Those are
yeah.
gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
It's
I
like
have this,
medicine all up my arm.
right? This one I think I showed last time, but I didn't know what it was. And so I found out what it was, and it is so pretty. And I got this from a gift. I have a girlfriend that showers me in crystals, and so this was one of them that she had sent me, and it's amethyst. It's called Angel Aura Amethyst,
Mm,
and it's for the crown chakra, and it's supposed to open a channel to the higher realms for peace, balance, unity. It's purifying and detoxifying and supports spiritual evolution. The angel aura treatment enhances properties of the amethyst and is supposed to stimulate the body and spirit. But this has got such calming, beautiful energy. I keep it here on my desk at all times just because I love the energy. It's just so soothing. But yeah, the bottom is even kind of a little bit sparkly. But I think I showed it last time and I just wasn't sure of the name, but it's Angel Aura Amethyst.
that's beautiful. And I love that it's sort of like fits into the palm of your hand,
Yeah.
and I like that. These are just my clear crystal quartz that I use when I'm doing my readings to just keep my vibration high and my altered state of consciousness.
Oh,
And I
they're
really love
beautiful.
the clarity of them and the double terminated. And they just fit so well in my hand. And I have selenite hearts that I have they're in my kit to go to the trade shows that I go to, and I put the heart upside down, and I sort of put the heart here and hold on to it like this. So I hold on to my hearts, and when I'm at the shows, they're not. This is way too fragile. The tips of these crack even if you look at them wrong. So I can't. I've tried to take these, but it's not a good idea. And so I take my selenite hearts. I have two of them and I just hold on to them. And it helps when I raise my vibration or raise my altered state of consciousness. It helps me to get there a little faster and hold it. And, I could not hold them. I would be fine. But it's just something that I like to use and like to have supporting me. Yeah, because there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of commotion around you.
This is one that I keep next to me, and it's clear quartz. But unlike you, I I took it with me on vacation to Sedona, and brought it up on many hikes to vortexes, and the point is chipped now. So, but this I love this guy. I used to have it on my nightstand, but it has so much energy. I thought having it here would be better.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
It's got some rainbows in it.
And I love revisiting them. I have a Flower of Life grid in where I do my meditation, and I change that from time to time, and just set my intentions. And I have so many little bitty stones like this you wouldn't believe. I have like two glass jars of filled with little mini stones of all different sizes. I mean, sizes, shapes, and colors,
Me
and
too.
different varieties. And I use them and I dump them out and just intuitively pick some out and create the grid. And I use a lot of those crystal. They're like little sticks of clear crystal quartz,
Yes.
um, and I point them on the grid, and then put the stones around where the flower of life, is just like sort of something to help guide us.
That's
And then I
exactly what
said,
I do, Jean.
mhm.
Exactly. The
And
points,
then I,
pointing in and then the stones around it. I love that. I love
mhm.
that. And how often do you change yours out?
Not as often as I should, but at least once a year, maybe twice a year. But it's really, it can get stagnant, but I don't pay that much attention as I should. I mean, I'm really very fortunate to have it. And um, you know, when just like all of us, if we're having a hard time, or a difficult time, we're going to run around and we're going to rearrange every crystal to support and help us. But
Yes.
when life is going well, you don't really sort of look to that all the time. And it just depends on what phase of life. And believe me, there are phases of my life in the past that I never thought I would ever get through. And I'm in sort of the stretch of my life where most days are good days, and I'm really grateful for that, because I had to go through a lot to get to the point where I am now. But I'm just really grateful, and it's all of my training, all of my experiences, and just the support. But I know what it's like to have rough times and difficult times, and things not go your way, or having things abruptly change.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and but you know, all your hard work too that you put into getting to this point, it takes a lot of healing and releasing and all of that to get to this point. And so you've done it. You've done it. And I think, there's certain times of our life that you know, it, certain things will come back up for that we have to take another look at. Bless
Oh,
you.
excuse me.
Bless you. And so I think there's certain things that we may have to heal, continually. I know for myself there's things that I'm constantly working on, but I'm at a way better place than I was, let's say, 5 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did. I did go through some personal healing with my shamanic energy training, and uh, you know, it's it took 3 years, but we did it, and such a huge uh, growth and understanding and perspective. And we all get stuck in not we get stuck in stories, and we
Mhm.
get stuck
Right.
in the stories that other people tell us, and the stories that other people expect. And for us to take that power back and have whatever I decide, whatever I feel is okay and is important and is valid, is a really long way to come from when you had other stories telling you other things, and I'm just really grateful. And it's doing the work and going through the training, and examining, self awareness, and perspective. All of these things are really um, it's really very valuable, and helps to get you past that loop of inadequacy, or the loop of unimportance, or you know um, this I don't know, whatever it is that you have, that is your story, that you've told yourself, or that other people have told you, and you've carried and embodied, and coming out of that and realizing that we all are a divine soul in a human container.
Right.
And it's been such a huge lesson, and the evolution of my awareness is just like everybody else's.
And look at what you've taken from all of this, Jean, which now allows you to be able to teach. And so we tend to sometimes look back at the experiences that we have and go, whew, that was tough, or that was bad. And kind of look at it as, sometimes in a negative light, that was a bad time in our lives, where now to get to this place where you've grown, and now you're able to teach people from all of these experiences that you've shared, and you're going to be able to help so many other people, which is really beautiful.
And sometimes that's why we go through tough times, so
Right.
that we can help others and be a like a patient's advocate, or you know, um, and when you reach the next rung of the ladder, you turn around and reach back and you put your hand out to the next person to help them up. And that's what humanity, my humanity, that's how the humanity works in my world. So
I
um,
love that. And that's exactly it. We're just all helping each other get home.
mhm. And Tracy Ralph, hi Tracy. So she says, today we just finished a 7-year transit with Uranus in Taurus, and hard energy to learn through. And today we start a new transit with Uranus in Gemini, a much lighter energy, more communicative and more cooperative and more collaborative. Whereas the Uranus is one of the largest planets, and it stays in these. Did you say it was a 7 year? I thought it was
Wow.
longer, but yeah, I heard. I think it's Steve Judd talked about it, and he really provided a lot of hope and inspiration for the for the future, for sure. That there's changes, and just as these rocks that we hold in front of us have subtle energies and change um, our frequency and vibration, or our um, balance, so do the rocks that are flying in the sky.
Right?
Our cosmos, the planets are very impotent with energies and characteristics, and things that they will support and cause and um, affect. And then when they go into each sign, it blends with that sign and it changes as it goes to sign to sign. I think I mean, if you're interested in rocks and stones here on Earth, it's all about the cosmos too. I think it
Mhm.
goes hand in hand.
Oh, right. I agree. And today is 7/7, so we have got the 7 portal today too, where if anybody um wants to do their intentions and releases and gratitudes, today is always a good day to do those.
Hmm. Absolutely. So here's to uh, beautiful moments and days ahead, and much prosperity and love and joy in everybody's hearts and yours, Kelly.
Oh,
And I just want to thank you for allowing me to show you, do a little bit of show and tell with all of my favorite friends.
yes.
And they are my friends. I love them dearly. And they are very much some of my favorite things. And really, guys, this is just a little bit compared to what's in there. I think
I
the
love
house
it.
leans to one side.
Yeah, I no, I hear you. I'm the same. I'm a crystal lover.
Mhm, mhm. Once you find that they're working for you and that they support you, you'll say, "Okay, what's next? What's next?"
Yep.
And you have to try it on. Not everyone is gonna be something that makes a big splash, but I'll never forget when I first put on I got the necklace first, and this I couldn't believe how much more focus I was. And then when I found this, and then I would wear them together, only I knew not every day because I'd get burnt out. But on the days where I had to have pure clarity and focus without distraction, and I knew that it wasn't me, it wasn't the day, it wasn't mind over matter, like just because you think you put them on. No, it was more than that. It was
Mhm.
more than that. And um yeah, it's for real. And everybody's a little bit different, which ones you're sensitive to, which ones you're compatible with. And just stones and rocks and seashells and little artifacts that are outside of in the wild are also high vibrational and beautiful things to have in your home. Hmm.
Right. I love it. Just even when we go certain places, it doesn't matter where we go. But I mean, if it's the beach or if it's a river, and like you said, a riverbed. We were just in Solvang, and there was a we had stopped at this park, and there was a dried up riverbed. And first instinct is I walk down there and I go, oh, the riverbed's dry, because I thought, oh, this is going to be so beautiful. And I'm like, how beautiful! I jumped into the there wasn't any water, but jumped into the riverbed and started looking for rocks, and just got into it that way, and found I'm always on the hunt for heart rocks, and so they always seem to find me wherever I go. But I'm totally entertained, that I'm easy. I you put me on a gravel road and I'll find rocks, or put me on a park bench and I'll people watch. Yeah, I'm easy.
Hmm. Yep, I like this. And I just there's a she said she found a little rock in the garden. How cute. A cool little rock in the garden. I watched this girl who would sing the song of trees, and if I could, she's on TikTok. I don't remember what her name is. I'll try and find it and put it in the show notes below. But she asked, I was going to tell you a story. She asked the tree or asked the rocks. Oh, she found the rock. She found a painted rock. And first she thought, oh, isn't this interesting? She was walking through the woods and she found it and she picked it up and she thought, oh, well, I feel sorry for this rock because maybe this rock didn't want to be painted. So she asked the rock, and this is a girl who sings the song of trees. And she asked the rock, does this bother you? Do you mind being painted? And the rock said, I love it because more people notice me and the kids really light up with so much joy. And I know. So she set the
Wow.
rock back down. It was like around the bottom of a tree, and she just kept going on her little path. And the rock told her this, and I'm this woman, she's phenomenal. I'm going to send it to you, Kelly. I'm going to put
Yeah.
it in the show notes. I don't know if it's TikTok or if anybody has TikTok, but it could be on Instagram. I scroll and watch all these beautiful
Yeah.
things in in the evenings for the relaxation. But she's really cool, and I
Oh,
love
I
her
would love
voice.
that.
Mm,
And how cool that she got the message from the rock that was like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
yeah.
That the rock liked to be noticed. That's
Hmm.
amazing.
Hmm. Yeah, and we could do a whole nother show on trees, though, Kelly. The tree outside. I was doing a show with Daphne. We did a show on trees, and I told her the story that there's a tree outside that was growing like this, and then one day this branch fell off or broke, or a storm took it off, and it had like a wound, and then the tree started growing up like this instead of like this. So when I was doing my training, they said, talk to the tree. And I asked my tree if they miss the other part of them and did the wound hurt. And they said, oh no, I was ready to let go of it. I wanted them to, I was done. We were done sharing this space together. And that part of the tree knew I needed to continue on without it. And it was like an agreement, and it was all okay. And there was no
Wow.
pain, there was no loss. And we as humans sort of put this human idea of, oh, that must
Mhm.
have hurt, you must have lost it, you must feel bad. But and to hear that, I it was just Try it. If you ever want to talk, trees will talk to you, rocks will talk to you. Trees are they love to communicate. They just communicate. They're big communicators. And rocks, you may have to sit with them and close your eyes and hold on to them, but they'll talk to you too. It's a beautiful,
I
beautiful
love that.
experience.
I
Hmm.
love that. Well,
Oh, yep. She talks to trees and lakes and rivers too on
yes,
Instagram, Amanda said.
yes.
Um, and she said that she saw that too about the painted rock. Amanda, do you remember her name? Oh man. She's saying yes. I know. I
Yes,
know.
yes.
I'll put it in the show notes below because I'm keeping Kelly. We're way past. We're way past. Kelly has another show. I have another show. So we both have to go. But thank you
Oh,
so, so much. And we have to just come and talk about all nature, all the little quirks and
right.
things that we have.
And like you said, it not only raises our vibration, but it raises the vibration of the people in the chat, the people in the chat are raising the vibration, and so coming together like this, it's an amazing feeling. Yeah, thank you, Jean. Thank you for having me, and thank you for sharing your beautiful crystals. They're amazing.
I
They're
love them. And
amazing,
thank
girl.
you for sharing yours. And thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. I will be over on the Crone Zone at 4 o'clock Eastern, which is 1 o'clock Pacific. And please do come on over and check it out. Joan, Wisdom Seeker Joan, is doing a very special presentation on the spirituality of birds. And she has a phenomenal presentation. So come on over and check it out.
Oh,
We'll keep continuing on this nature thing. I'm
I
telling
love
you,
it.
there's more. Kelly and I will be back. There's so much more I want to do with you, Kelly. I'm getting
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, everybody, for being here and hanging with us.
all right. Thanks again. Bye bye,
Bye.
everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.